The phone was vibrating itself to death on the marble counter. I watched it like a stranger watches a car wreck, detached, curious, already certain of the ending. Her name lit the screen again and again. By the seventh call, the screaming started. Not words, noise, raw panic bleeding through the speaker before I even answered. "Anyone but her!" she shrieked. "Please, anyone but her!" I leaned against the window. Switzerland spread beneath me like a secret I'd earned. Snow-dusted mountains, a lake so still it looked staged. The villa was quiet, perfectly obedient. 3 hours earlier, I'd left our house with a kiss on her cheek and a single word: deal. She'd smiled then, smug, relieved, already rehearsing her innocence. Now she was unraveling. I let the call ring out. The 8th call came with a voicemail, my daughter-in-law's voice this time, sharp, triumphant, carrying the clatter of plates and the authority of a woman who had already won. "If you want to join Thanksgiving," she shouted over the noise, "come wash the dishes." I finally picked up. "Enjoy," I said, and ended the call. The Hallpass was her idea. She presented it like legislation, sat across from me at the kitchen table, hands folded, eyes steady, too steady. She spoke about fairness, about growth, about how marriage shouldn't feel like a prison. "It's only fair," she said. "You've had your life. I just want closure." Closure with her Collegeex. I remember nodding, slowly, like a man absorbing a difficult equation. Inside, something old and cold sat up straight. She didn't notice the pause before I agreed. She didn't notice how I didn't ask questions. She didn't notice how carefully I watched her pupils dilate when I said yes. She thought I was weak. What she didn't know was that fairness had always been my favorite weapon. The clues had been there for months. The way she protected her phone like a vital organ. The way she talked about the past with too much warmth. The way she accused me of being distant while mapping exits I hadn't been invited to. And the worst part? She'd already decided I wouldn't fight back. I didn't confront her. I prepared. Phone records are boring things, but boredom reveals patterns. Midnight calls, long ones, always the same number, always when I was working late. I pulled travel histories, social media archives, old photos she'd forgotten to delete, his hand on her waist reflected in a mirror she thought was harmless. Then I called my sister. Family has a way of clarifying loyalty when blood is involved. I asked one question, calmly, casually. "What would you do if someone brought poison to your table and called it dessert?" She didn't hesitate. I'd make sure they swallowed it themselves. That was when I booked the villa. I left the house with an overnight bag and a smile that cost me nothing. I didn't tell her where I was going. I didn't need to, because while she planned a reunion, I was arranging exposure. I forwarded the evidence, not to her, to the one woman she feared most. The photos hit first. My villa, the view, the wine, me, calm, composed, unmistakably free. Then the messages followed. Screenshots, timelines, context. She saw everything at once. Her calls spiked, 71 times in under an hour. When I finally answered, she was crying, not the soft kind, the broken, animal kind that comes from realizing the ground is gone. "You set me up," she sobbed. I said nothing. Her silence filled the space where excuses usually live. "I thought you wouldn't care," she whispered. That was the truth, and it disgusted me more than the betrayal. Thanksgiving happened without me. She arrived expecting forgiveness. Instead, she found judgment. My daughter-in-law had approved the seating. My sister had approved the guest list. And the Collegeex, so eager, so confident, had been escorted out before dessert. Not with shouting, with smiles, with facts, with a quiet understanding that some doors close forever once everyone sees what you tried to smuggle through them. I didn't attend. I didn't need to. Power doesn't require presence. It requires timing. I sit on the terrace now, the lake breathing slowly below me. The phone is silent. I don't feel victorious. I feel precise. She wanted fairness. I gave her symmetry. She wanted permission. I gave her consequence. Some people mistake kindness for blindness. They forget that silence is often just calculation waiting for its moment. I didn't crush her with anger. I let her watch herself fall. And that, I've learned, lasts much longer.